Moving on, shared workspace operator WeWork India has made its Chennai debut. The city will host the company's 55th centre and become its 8th market. The foray is also part of a plan to expand in markets like Hyderabad and Pune, as well as the company looks to launch 2 million more square feet and touch over 100,000 desks this fiscal. In a chat with CNBC-TV18's Jude Sanith, WeWork India's CEO Karan Virwani discusses these plans and outlines the company's roadmap to getting there. Take a look.
India typically does close to about 50 to 60 million square foot of fresh leasing a year. In the last 2 to 3 years, flex as a percentage of that has been close to about 10 to 12 million, right? So right now, if you look at the breakdown, actually co-working operators are taking as much space as IT companies, and BFSI companies. So in the top 2 to 3 takers of space, I think flex operators are leading that pack, or at least in that top level. And that is sort of being coupled by the way that we actually are able to fill up these locations also. So if you see most operators, including us, are operating at like 80-85% type of occupancies across most of our matured centers. And that just shows that there is a need, and even though we are moving at a really fast pace, the demand into our spaces also is equally as fast. So I would say around 20 to 30% of all deals in the market are moving into flex.
Karan, what strikes me is the fact that, while you have made this foray into Chennai, like you said, you made it at a time when you can scale up in multiple other locations as well. So what's the expansion plan like? How many new locations? How many new centers are you looking at? What's that pipeline like? Karan?
So if you see some of our mature markets like Bangalore, Mumbai, Gurgaon, they've all scaled up now to close to about 20,000 to 30,000, desks in each of those markets, which is around a 2 million square foot, type of mark. So 2 to 3 million square foot. Bangalore is probably around 3 million square foot. Hyderabad, Pune and now Chennai are the next growth markets for us.
And will you keep the focus on Hyderabad, Pune and Chennai? What are the new markets that you're looking at to expand into?
Nothing. This will, for at least next few years, I think these 7-8 cities are really where we're focused on. That has always been the crux of our strategy over the last, sort of 3 to 4 years. Being very focused where high demand exists and trying to go extremely deep into those markets. That's where we see all of our economies really coming in. That's where we see that we're able to help members grow and continue to grow. So we don't plan to expand into, too many tier 2 markets or any tier 2 markets unless something really exciting comes up. I think for us, these 7-8 cities are the key focus.
And are you happy with the availability of grade A leasable supply in these markets?
100%. So just a quick stat, there's about 900 million square foot of grade A supply today. Flex as a percentage of that is around 6 to maybe 8 to 10% now. So very small still. And we have close to about 8 million square foot. So maybe just 1% of the entire stock. There's more than enough.
Ample runway.
There are companies moving out of existing spaces that come available. There are developers building new assets. So there's more than enough space. Like space is not really an issue.
Right. What's the outlook like on both the revenue and the leasable space front? I know for a fact that the story of WeWork India is in stark contrast to all that we were seeing at WeWork Global, and that you've been doing rather well on the revenue front.
Yeah.
What are your projections in that front in terms of growth? Do you see yourself growing from here? What is that growth potential and the rate likely to be like?
I think, look, I won't get into exact, projection numbers, but we have been growing and we will continue to grow at, at least the top line by around 30 to 40% year over year. We see that sustaining even for this year. So last year we, kind of closed the year about 1,800 crores of revenue and close to about 400 or 410 crores of EBITDA. Right, positive EBITDA. Our EBITDA has been growing at above 50 to, between 60 to 80% actually in the last 3 years. And top line been growing at around 30 to 40%. So that's the plan that we continue to stay on. Depends again on the market and the year and stuff like that. But we feel very comfortable that this is a sustained plan that we can, kind of get to and continue to
All
hit.
right. And you did tell me just a little while ago that 2 million in Chennai, in Hyderabad and in Pune is what you're looking at in terms of space that you are hoping to get to in each of these cities.
Yeah.
So what's the pipeline going to be like as far as your pan-India picture is concerned in terms of newer spaces, more desks? Is it going to be majorly around these 3 markets? Are you looking beyond? What's that overall picture in terms of square feet and desks going to be
So
like?
the top 7 cities continue to be the market. I mean, those are our growth cities where we are trying to expand a little bit higher in terms of percentage, but across the country it'd be about 2 million square foot of expansion, additional to what we have right now in the next 10 months that we have for the rest of the year. Most of which is already signed up and, starting to open. Q2, Q3 are going to be heavy opening months for us. And I would say that Bangalore continues to be a very strong market for us. Gurgaon also will be a very strong market for us. And then, Hyderabad, Chennai, Pune are, like I said, where we're trying to push the pedal a little bit more. So we should end up above 100,000 desks by the end of March, closer to maybe 110,000 desks. And the other thing that we're, coupled with is our managed office business, which is bespoke spaces for large enterprises. So that's typically not considered a WeWork because none of our other WeWork members can operate in it. But we are looking at that in addition to all of this expansion that we're having. So, we've done some new spaces for companies like AstraZeneca and, Kantar Consulting and things like that, which are adding to the entire portfolio size and going to help us sort of like expand the footprint a lot more.
All right, sounds good. But there's one question that's in everyone's mind. I've been reading a few reports about it as well. Does WeWork India go public anytime soon? There's been an awful lot of chatter and talk about it.
Yeah.
What are plans? Would you like to go public in the near future?
I think it's always been something that we have been working towards. Obviously, with someone like Office listing just a few weeks back, it kind of opened up the market a lot. I think timing for us is still unclear, and we really want to get to a very large scale before we go down that path. We want to.
Do you have a number in mind in terms of what kind of scale you're looking at before you hit the public button?
Exact number, but it's soon, I would say.
On that note, it is time for us to head into a short break. But coming up next, named after a San Francisco neighborhood, South Park Commons started in 2016 as a collective of engineers, founders, and researchers. With its New York expansion plans already underway, it is now looking towards India and has just announced the opening of its Bengaluru community. A special conversation on the other side. Stay tuned.